Hello, my name is Søren Abro Fyllensbjerg, and with this module 3 I want to show you how to create a sys package. What you saw in the two previous modules, you saw how to create a database and some theoretical input, and we talked also about how to create the proper tables and so on. What we look at here is not the structure, but how we move data from our source to our destination. Microsoft uses a service called integration services, and to run integration services to move data, then we need to create some packages. Packages is basically just an XML file with a lot of commands in it and information so that it can transfer data and transform data and load data from one source, transform it and then load it into our data warehouse. Integration services Microsoft ETL tool, that means extract, transform and loading tool. What I'll show you first is how to create your first package, and I know when you're going to the exam, then you need to know one simple way to create your first package. Then I'll show you 3 components of a package: control flow, data flow, connection managers. But first we start very easy. How can you create your first package? As you can see in my SQL Server, I have a database called AdventureWorks, and I have a database called Data Warehouse. I now want to move data from here to Data Warehouse. So I right click, choose Task, choose Export Data. Little warning, and then I need to choose the data source. Please note that we start on ODBC drivers now. Earlier versions we actually started on a data source that were compatible with this database we had chosen as our source, because we choose to export and we did it on this database. But now we're on ODBC drivers as default. That is because if you read the training kit from Microsoft, and you must read that, then you will see that in the future they prefer to use ODBC drivers instead of OLEDB that we would prefer to use nowadays. But I click drop down and I choose instead that my data source is an OLEDB provider for SQL Server. I could have chosen a native client instead. Server will be local, and since I ran this command from the AdventureWorks 2014 database, I right clicked on that, then it has pre-filled this database. For destination, I once again choose the OLEDB provider for SQL Server. I choose my local database server, and then I choose my data warehouse. Click next, and I have 2 possibilities. I can copy data, or I can write a query to specify the data to transfer. I choose copy a table, and I could decide to take let's take the country region. What you can see over here, then we have a destination, and I can click and I can change the name. I could call it DIM country. That was not DIM country, sorry, DIM country, as an example. I can click edit mapping, and then I have some possibilities depending on what happens. Is there a destination table already? If there is not, then should we create it? Can we drop and recreate the destination table all the time? And do we enable identity insert? And from 462 and 461 you must know that identity insert, what that is. But basically, if you have an identity on a column, then if I insert 10 rows, then they will have a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I then transfer these rows the first to a new table, then the first time, if the destination table also has an identity, then they will have 1 to 10. But if I truncate and transfer data again, then in the destination they will be 11, 12, 13 and so on. To avoid that, then we enable identity insert so that we will always just take the numbers in the source and put them into destination. I click next, and now I want to save my package. Of course I want to run it, but I also want to save my package. I want to save it in file system, and I want to encrypt all data with a password 1234 1234. I click next. I call my package test001, and it will be stored in my document folder. Finish and run. I transferred 238 rows. I get this error because I cannot drop the table because it does not exist. Cannot drop the table DIM country because it does not exist. That's it. If I go into my data warehouse, then I can see that I have a table and I have some data. down here. Great. If I go into my documents folder, you can see I have a sys package called test001. I can right click and I can press open with, and I can choose Notepad, and then I can see a document, but what I can see is that it has something to do with XML. What I want to do now is actually I want to work with this package. And to work with this, then you need to install Microsoft data tools for SQL Server. And you need, if you have 2014 SQL Server, then you need to download it separately. Just Google data tools for SQL Server 2014 and download. What I can do is that I have installed it already, SQL Server data tools for Visual Studio it is called here. So I click, close my front page, and what I will do now is that I will start a new project. And when we are in the data tools, the first thing you always need to do is that you need to start a new project, unless you of course want to open an old project. And since I downloaded the data tools, then I can choose among different projects, but what I'm interested in is the integration services project. And I call this project for project 001 and click OK. Wait a second, and close here. And what I have over here is the Solution Explorer. If you can't find your Solution Explorer, then and it's the first time you use your data tools, then go to View, and then you can find a lot of windows you can open, and one of them is Solution Explorer, and another one that is nice to have is actually also properties, as I have down here. Solution Explorer tells me that I have a solution called Project 001, and I have a project within that solution that is called Project 001. Here I have some sub menu items. One is project parameters, one is connection manager, one is packages, and one is miscellaneous. And as you can see, when you create a new project, then it will create a new package called package.dtsx. I will remove that. What I will do now is that I will right click on packages, and I will add existing package from file system, package path. I'll go to documents and I'll choose test001. Click OK. Enter my password. Now I have my package and I can double click. And now I have proved that I actually have created a sys package with the tool called Import Export Wizard. Now the interesting part is that how do I run a package that I've created with Import Export Wizard? The first thing you of course must do is that you can mark the package, right click, click execute. You can click on the start button. You can go to the debug where you can start debugging. You can also see that it is F5, or you can start without debugging, that is Control F5. So you have plenty of opportunities to run a package. I right click and I execute it. Don't think about what's over here now. So what you can see is that they all succeeded. Now the data tools are in debug mode, and to get back where you can develop the package, then you can click here, or you can click stop, or you can go up in the menu and you can stop debugging, or you can press Shift F5. I just stop. And I want to test again if my package is running, so I execute again. And it's still working. Actually, what I have done now is that I've created my first sys package, and now I have imported it into data tools, and now I can continue to work with it. What does this package then contain of? Well, first of all, we have three important things. We have something called a control flow, we have something called a data flow, and we have something called connection managers. Control flow is the way the program is executed and what to execute. And it always finds the first package, the first task. And in this situation, the first task is something called drop tables SQL task 1. The next one is preparation SQL task, and the last one is data flow task 1. All these tasks here is actually something I have chosen from my sys toolbox. And it's always difficult for new users of data tools to find this toolbox, because when you start up data tools, then you have something called toolbox, and if you click, then it's empty. Sys toolbox is placed under the sys menu. I have it here, sys toolbox. So control flow actually means that this is the way the program is running, and we have added 3 tasks from the sys toolbox. I could add more. I could say when you have transferred the data, then I want you to do an XML task. I connect them by taking this green line and add it to the next step that I want to have executed. I could always also say that when you are finished with data flow, then you should also do a web service, and you should do it together with the XML task. Then I could take an FTP task like this also, and I could do something like this. The red crosses inside the circle means that they are not configured, and the package will not run before they are configured. So the control flow will now start here, do this task, then do this task, then do this task, then do these 2 tasks, and perhaps do this task. And when I say perhaps, that is because one important thing is how the arrow works here. I will tell you about that in a later module, because we have very shortly, then I can double click an arrow, and then I can see that this one must evaluate as a constraint, and the value must be a success. So that means that if this package is a success, this task is a success, then this one will be executed. If this one is a success, then this one and this one will be executed. If this one succeeds, this one succeeds, and this one succeeds, this one succeeds, and this one succeeds, then this one will be executed. What I could do instead is double click on the line and then click a logical OR instead. That means that if this one is succeeded or this one is succeeded, then this one will be executed. Up here we have another color that is black, and that means on completion. So the value is not success or failure, it is on completion. So in the control flow, and we will get much more into that later on, then we will actually have the program flow. How is program executed? At the exam, then you need to know all these tasks, and the best way to learn them is to try them. We have one special task here that is called a data flow task, and if I double click on that, then I am sent to the data flow tab. And on this tab, then we are talking about not how the program is executed, but how data is flowing. And as you can see here, then we have a source and we have a destination. Data is flowing from the source to the destination through this arrow. So the destination can't see what source it is, it just gets some data from somewhere. To configure the source and the destination, then we need to have some connection managers. And these connections, as you see here, they are actually in the package itself. That means that when I can take this package, I can put it onto another server without taking the whole project, and then I can run it from there because the package has the information about the connections also. With SQL Server 2012, we changed that to now we can work in another way where we can have shared connection managers for all packages. That means that I can click here, I can right click, and then I can convert to project connection. I can do that with this one also. And as you can see up here now in the project, we have 2 connections. They are used in the package, and that means that I can use these connections in 10 packages instead of 1. That has the benefit that if we want to change something, and I will show that in later modules, then it's easily done. If I want to change server for this one or this one, then it is easily done for all packages that are in this project. So a connection manager is something that if I take this source, I need so that I know where to find the data. So I have this connection manager called source connection OLEDB. This is a connection, and in there I can choose what table that I want to take the data from. Down here I can click, and I can see I have a connection that's called destination connection OLEDB, and I can choose what table to store the data in. So what you'll see now in this module is that we have a control flow, we have a data flow, and we have connection managers. If I were you, then I would recommend you to try build your first package from inside the data tool. So let's try to do that. Playing around is the easiest way to learn this. Test 002, a lot of zeros. First thing that I want is actually that I want to have a data flow task. I always start in my control flow, what do I want to? I want to move data. When I have added this data flow task, then I can double click and then I move to the data flow tab. In the Sys toolbox, I now have a source assistant. I click here. It should be a SQL server, for example. I click new, click OK, and then I could, for example, so what you can do is you can use the source assistant, and then you can choose a type of source. I don't like using the source assistant, that's a personal opinion. I always like to go down to other sources and choose my source instead. And here I will take the OLEDB source, I will double click, and then I can choose my, from my connections, source connection OLEDB, and then I can choose a table to transfer. And I will in this case take the currency table. I can preview it, and I can do a lot of other things that we will go into in later modules. Then I have all my destinations, and I will choose an OLEDB destination, and it is red, and if I click, then I get a warning that this component has no available input columns. That is because before you configure this destination, then you click on the source and then you drag an arrow, because then the destination component knows what data it will receive. And then I could choose a table to send the data to, but I could also click create new, and then I could create a new table called test 00 something. Okay, click OK. And if you have a SQL Server 2012, then you are not allowed to click OK, then you will get a warning, and the warning is that you need to click on mapping for it to auto map the input columns with the destination columns. Over here I can also click keep identity, keep nulls, and whatever I want to do, like this. And now we have a package, right click and execute. I have now created my first package. So I would recommend that you do the same. Start working with Sys data tools and then try to build some packages before we move on to the next module.